All right, all right. Hello, any replayers. If you're a replayer, welcome. You can tap on the screen for hearts. You can follow me on Twitter or Snapchat if you want some more info or just want to chat with me. And you can, of course, invite other people. So, hello, hello, hello. Welcome to anybody who's new to me. My name is Joanna, and usually I do a 5 p.m. Money Matter scope, but I am late because I was too busy voting. Actually, the line for voting, I'm in Illinois, and today's a primary, so the line for voting was quite lengthy, and they did not have a lot of staff. So it took an extra long time to actually finish voting. So this is, before we jump into the Money Matters topic for today, I hope if you are eligible to vote and you are, there's a primary that you take your, that you do vote. Exercise your rights. Okay, now that we get that out of the way. Welcome to Money Matters. I do two broadcasts. I do a Money Habits broadcast every single day at 10 a.m. and I do a Money Matters broadcast a couple times a week. And so today, like I said, a little bit short on time, but I came across this article and I tweeted out the link right before I started this Periscope. And it's a very a terrific article that really illustrates the retirement crisis. And I want to talk to you guys a little bit about it and just kind of check yourself. I think you need to really look at where you're at with your retirement goals. And don't become a statistic, right? Like make sure, I talk a lot about priorities. I talk a lot about taking action and spending your time and energy and putting your money where your priorities ought to be. And I just want to review some of these retirement statistics. And we're going to go and they've made really beautiful visuals for this article. So let's just go through that. This is a really important topic because people are not taking enough sort of accountability and responsibility. So this is the first snapshot where they talk about the 1 in 3 Americans, 1 in 3. And the way I like to think about the statistics is like if you're together with a couple of your friends, the likelihood is one of you doesn't have any retirement savings. Now we know that behavior is that we influence the people in our lives, and so here's the thing that I'm emphasizing is I want you guys to take action, and then I want you to share it with someone you know or care about so that they can also take action, so we can get these numbers down to something that's a little less terrifying. So a third of Americans, have no retirement savings. Now the next big number is people who have 23% have less than $10,000. So half of all Americans have less than $10,000 in retirement savings. And as you know, we are moving away from the pension system and the government will take care of you to a self-allocated system. So it's really important that people take this seriously. The interesting thing in this infographic that the next large number is in the $300,000. So 13% of Americans, right? If you look at all of these little bars, the way they divided data, and it's, you can play with data because you can just say, well, everybody else has like between 10 and 300, but actually 13% of Americans, so roughly 1 out of 10, have $300,000 or more. So again, if you're in a room with 10 people, maybe various ages, and we're going to go through that, one of them actually has a lot of retirement savings. And sometimes personal finance, we refer to it as stealth wealth. So you may not know, here's the thing, we see people's behaviors and we see people's sort of spending habits, but at the end of the day, we don't know what's in their bank account and what's in their retirement account. And a lot of times people mistake rich and wealthy. And if you want a really good, I think it's a Chris Rock line, stand-up comedian says, the basketball star is rich, right? It's getting paid millions. We all know that, have a lot of admiration for professional athletes in this country. He says, but the guy who signs this check, he's wealthy, right? And it's really the difference between that. So the other thing that, of course, as you know, there's not as many female voices in the sphere of personal finance. There's more and more, and I'm happy to hear that. But when I look at the overwhelming kind of representation, it's still male dominated. And here's the troubling thing. Women are less prepared for many, many reasons. Women earn less. They take off more time. And I just don't think that they emphasize wealth building as much as men do. And so women are actually behind when it comes to planning for retirement, saving for retirement. It's just like, this is about kind of figuring out where are you at, right? The orange, that's people who have no retirement savings. That's a big swath. Like for women, that's a large portion. Save less than $10,000. So if you have $1,000, you're in that, more than half, right? Overwhelming majority of women have little to no retirement savings. And folks, we're not getting any younger. We are a generation, everybody's aging. So this is equal alarming because we have an aging population that's not saving. So the next graph, and again, I tweeted out the link to this article. I highly recommend everybody reads it and really takes to heart and kind of for yourself figure out where you're at and figure out what you're going to do differently to get yourself away from this orange and yellow zone and get yourself into the brown zone. As you can see, millennials, again, sort of younger people are not saving for retirement. Here's the thing, guys. If you manage to save $1,000 and put it away and invest it for the next 40 years, hi, how are you? For the next 40 years, you are going to be so much better off because you get time on your side. Tomorrow morning, we're going to be working on the wealth and the financial freedom equation. We're going to look at the factors on a spreadsheet that go into your number. The amount of money that you need to live comfortably for the rest of your life, no matter what. So, the $1,000 at 18, 19, 20, I know it's hard, but challenge yourself. If you're young and you're just starting out in the workforce, challenge yourself. Also, if you have children that have employment, the biggest gift you can give them is open a Roth IRA for them and have that money start, starting the compound interest journey. So anyway, Gen Xers, I'm a Gen Xer. This is scary, 35, you've been in the workforce 10, maybe 15 years. Yeah, starting late, you know what, but it's if you're starting late, you just got to double down. It's okay, because you know what, you're starting. Because in 10 years, you're going to look back and say, oh my God, I'm so lucky that I started. I'm so grateful that I started, because you're going to have a lot of good habits developed, a lot of compound interest on your side, and a whole lot of knowledge. So start now, get educated, start saving. We talked about you're ready for investing now. Don't wait till you're older. Only thing that should stop you is credit card debt. Otherwise, don't wait. An IRA, a 401k, if you're a solopreneur, an individual 401k is one of the best tax-deferred vehicles. Look it up on Vanguard.com. Individual 401k, everyone can open up them if you're a solopreneur. That means you generate income as a business with no employees. Boomers and seniors. Whoa, this is almost a third of people that don't have, if you look at this, I look at $10,000, man, that's an emergency account. That's not a savings. That's not a retirement savings at this age. You've got 45% of people with little to no retirement savings. And this is very, this is kind of, here's the thing, older people, some of the older people, if you have a grandfather, maybe your parents are elderly and they retired, there's like a little dirty little secret they may not talk about. They may have a pension, right? I talked to someone and they're like, oh, my mom's retired and, she's got a little bit of Social Security and she's got this pension. That's cash flow that people have that you and I cannot count on. There is no pension in my future. So, like this. Does that work better? Yeah, I'm still experimenting with the screen. Hopefully they didn't see. I know it's a little bit dark in here. So anyway, that's, but that's what I'm trying to say. Yes. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the suggestion. Would have never occurred to me. Hopefully this is like not upside down or sideways. I don't know. I'm still working on it. Thank you though. So the idea is, you want to move from these. You don't want to be here, right? Maybe you're not here yet, but you need to make that journey across. Don't be a statistic, right? And look at this, look how hard it is, right? And so if you have made progress in your retirement savings, give yourself some credit and keep at it, right? Until you're like, this is the finish line, folks. $300,000 or more. And again, you see that this is a big percentage. we'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm going to model out for you. $300,000, it's good, but it's not financial freedom good. It's a good start, right? And you can see, look at that, 5% of people in the 18 to 34 age range manage to accumulate over $300,000, right? Always try to compete with the very best. Try to see if you can do better. All right, 42% of millennials have not begun saving for retirement. Millennials, this is for you. This is the number one thing that you can do for yourself is invest in yourself, not just in your education, not just in your, this is for gobankingrates.com. It's an article. I tweeted out the link. It's going to be in my Twitter feed. So gobankingrates.com is the website that has this article. I know there's a lot of personal finance people that were tweeting out today, and I thought this is fantastic. So gobankingrates.com. And then, so this is the 42% of, so don't be a statistics, be on the right side. See, this is like the 4 people, again, a group of 10 friends, 6 of them have started saving, but 4 of them have not, right? If you're looking at people's lifestyle spending and you're seeing how they live their life, you're not looking in their bank account, you're not asking, you may have a misrepresentation of how well they're doing. So don't just look at people's spending habits, ask them about how are they doing on retirement. More than half of Gen Xers, right? Again, those are folks in my age group have less than $10,000 saved for retirement. This is what's troubling, because by the time you're a Gen Xer, 35 to and up, here's the thing: you got to look at your lifetime income. By that time, I really feel like it's a matter of priorities and education and taking action. So if you're a Gen Xer and you're in this situation, it is time to turn it around. And only 1 in 4 people in age 55 and over has more than $300,000 saved, right? And that's just like, we're going to live a long time. Here's the thing. I think we need to start thinking differently about retirement. I really believe that retirement's not about being idle. Retirement is about being able to do the things you want, but you may still need to figure out an income strategy, especially if you haven't figured out the retirement strategy for the prior time of your life. This may be a little bit bleak or dark. I don't know if I can focus it. Here's the, here was the chart. So again, I've got this link. Go to this chart. This is a really interesting chart. It gives you an age and a median income, and it says here's where you should be retirement savings benchmark. So check yourself. I'm always telling people to figure out where they ought to be. The higher your income, the higher your retirement savings should be, right? So if you're doing above average in income, you've really got to look at your net worth and your retirement savings and challenge yourself to do better. This is a fantastic article. Yeah, put out to pasture. Yeah. And, we're going to live healthier lives, especially if you're not just looking out for your money, but you're looking out for yourself, your health. You're going to live a long life. You're going to learn things that you can contribute to others, just knowledge and support to other people. But here is a great thing. They talk about, just to summarize what are some of the ways to catch up. Stick to routine, right? Money habits. That's all I talk about. It's habit, habit, habit. You are going to make yourself a plan and stick with it and do habits. This one says prioritize changes that have a long-term benefit, right? You may need to, pay down the debt if it's high interest rate. But also, if you have low interest debt, that means it's single digit, I would prioritize funding your 401ks and IRAs ahead of paying off your student loans. Why? Because you want time on your side. Save like you'll retire tomorrow, right? Again, you may need to have an income plan. Those are the other 3 things. You may need to have an income in retirement, because again, I don't think retirement's about sitting idle. To me, retirement is your ability to have more choices, and that's why I actually talk about financial freedom, because like retirement at 65, to me, it's like unrealistic. Like I don't want to work so hard my entire life to have to feel like I have to like run away from my life's work at 65. So I advocate for people to create a path for themselves where they've created enough financial buffer so they can start pursuing things that they can say, you know what, I think I can do this for like another 20, 30 years, you know, because if you really love something and you're doing it 10, 20 hours a week on your schedule, you know, especially with the technology that we have today, you know, and again, it's a contribution. You need to find ways in which you're contributing to other people's lives. Everyone has something to offer because you have a talent, a skill, or experience, or knowledge, or just a disposition that's going to help someone. So that's my spiel. Today was a short scope. Again, it took a lot longer to vote than I expected, but I was like, I gotta stick it out because the line was just getting longer. When I left, the line was like 50 people deep, and which is really great for voting. And I think they said that this is the largest turnout for primary that they've ever seen, which is fantastic. I think that's really, really terrific that everyone's taking their civic duty to vote. But that's the thing. Look up this article, read it in a little bit more detail. Don't be statistic, right? Don't be on the wrong side of the statistic. See it for like, wait a minute. Someone my age was able to get to $300,000, not just anybody, but like 5 people out of 100, right? So 1 out of 20. So next time you are a big party of people your age, it's tough, right? It's a tough situation when you have lost everything. I think here's the thing. You're probably, there's probably people who, so 2 things. One, if you had something, that means you've had some habits and knowledge and discipline in the past, look to that. Like, I know it's really hard when you do lose the things that you were working so hard to build on. The thing that I would say would be like, wow, you had the discipline. So kind of regroup and it does feel like you're starting over a little bit. But I would be more encouraged with someone like you who's done it before to say, look, you've got the skill set, you know the numbers, and you may just need to get, I would say it's more important for you. It's not to get it exactly right, but to do the right things, right? To say, okay, let me see what happened, like where there's some clear issues with my prior strategy, or was it just bad luck, right? And if you say, no, I had the right idea, let me pursue that. I would encourage you and say you probably have more capacity, more skill because you've done it before. And it is terrible, the losses that people experience. And I feel like that really has hurt people in terms of the relationship with investing. And also even their trust, but look further back and look further forward, because it was a very small period in time. And you know what? I live well below my means. I've made a really conscious choice to prioritize financial freedom over kind of the trappings of a lifestyle, because I started valuing my own time so much more, because that's the real currency. That's the real currency. That's the only, like, money can be replaced. Your time, your health, the relationships you have with other people, you can't replace it, right? So money, like, sometimes I think about it. I'm like, oh, what if it happens, an accident? Like, there are things that limit us, but we can all get past that. So money is something that can be replaced. And yeah, live below your means and be proud of that. Don't see it like, oh my God, I have to be meagerly. And you're like, you know what? I know how to be smart with money. I have the discipline to save. I know how to manage money, so I'm not in credit card debt. I would say, like, take pride in it, right? Be proud of yourself for being a good money manager and recognizing that you need to do that. And I think that's a fabulous, that's what I'd be like, oh, you've got it. Like, I talk with people and sometimes they feel so bad about themselves, and I see things in them. I'm like, no, you're a really good money manager, or you're really clever in business, or you know how to make income. You have an advantage versus someone who's just kind of sitting on the sidelines and says, well, there's nothing I can do. You know how to solve the problem. And I just want to encourage you to keep doing it and get even more clever. No one has. No one can claim that. Like, no person, whether you started out with money, whether you earned it, no one has a perfect record. I've made some missteps. I didn't even think about stuff. I wasn't managing it sometimes. I've only really gotten into it in the last 3 years. Now, I've always been interested in it. I've always been doing it. But I get that
yeah, there's a lot to, like, guys, I've learned more in the last 4 months trying to teach the material that I was like, oh, I know the facts, or I know this. And I would look and prepare for a Periscope, and I was like, oh crap, I had no idea. Like, I was like, this is even more impactful. So if you do the math, and if you follow the, if you kind of start tuning some things out, like advertising, or people that tell you that you can't do it, you need to hand your money over to someone else, or people kind of giving you advice where they're just trying to sell you a different product, again, see where the path has led them, and follow the facts, follow the math, and then have the discipline, right? And have the and like know what's important. I think if you're really, really true to your priorities, then your money's gonna go to the right spots, and you're gonna give your money jobs. But so it's not idle. And then also, like, remember that you're a big an income generating asset. So take care of yourself, whether it's getting more education. Thank you. I am so passionate about this, and yeah, thank you. I'm very, very passionate about this. I've been managing my own money my entire life. I came from meager means, so I've experienced multiple parts of the economy. I also have like a lot of insight into corporate business and small business. Hi, how are you? And so I want to share that. I'm bringing it all together. And and when I remember when I was graduating from, yeah, great. When I was graduating from high school, I wanted to do applied mathematics, and there wasn't really a way for me to share my knowledge and love of math with just everybody. I'm in Chicago, but originally I'm from Poland. So I'm I'm a very typical immigrant. Worked really, really hard. Got my education, and then I was like, wait a minute, just being smart is not good enough. Being smart, by the way, is not where the money's at. So no, I can't. And so. Yeah, so I want to give people the right information, tell them what really matters, and then help you guys do the right steps, because I feel like there's so much doubt that people just freeze up and they don't take the action. And I can tell you, and we can put it on the spreadsheet, because you can look into the future when it comes to numbers. And I have yeah, thank you. I think I know Sandy shared my Periscope on Sunday. Thank you. No, I feel like I want to empower more people, especially people that don't have the guidance from their parents, right? Or don't have guidance from their peers. Like, sometimes I feel like we're all like islands because people don't want to talk about money, and they are often misinformed, and the information comes from people who are trying to sell you something. So I've looked everywhere. Yeah. Sandy, I really appreciate Sandy for sharing, because I do feel like I got a lot more exposure through that. And Sandy's terrific. I support her, and I support everyone who's trying to move the needle in the right direction, get people acting in the right way. So anyway, that's it. I gotta run. She's fabulous. I love her storytelling. She's extremely engaging. I think like what she's doing, everybody, and she's been doing it for longer than I have. And so I look up to the people that have been around. I'm probably a little bit longer in the tooth, a little older. But everyone brings their experience and their expertise to the table, and we all have to have more voices out here to get people on the right path, and to reduce the money anxiety that people experience. So anyway, thank you for joining today. It was a really quick Money Matters. Like I said, a lot going on today. And but check out that article. I tweeted it out on my Twitter account. Or you can go to gobankingrates.com. It's a fantastic, they did some fantastic analysis and some visuals, and just check yourself, see where you're at, and see where you want to go. And all that separates you from where you are today to where you want to be in the future is a money plan. Make a money plan, make math. I'm on 10 a.m. So every single day, 7 days a week. Nonstop. I'm on at 10 a.m. Every day, Chicago time, Central time. And then on Friday, let's see if I can do it Friday. I can do a 5 o'clock. Usually I do a Tuesday, Friday, just for let me just check my calendar. Yeah, on Friday I'll be doing a 5 p.m. But so if you can't make, I know some people can't make during the day, but 10 a.m. Central Time tomorrow, and I'll be doing the spreadsheet and I'll get better lighting, so because I'm like it's so dark in here, to do the spreadsheet where you can figure out like what goes into the calculation to figure out your number. Like everyone should have a number they're aiming for to get to your financial freedom. So we're gonna dissect the financial freedom equation tomorrow, and I'm gonna be working on a spreadsheet, which is my favorite thing to do, is to create a spreadsheet to like reveal to other people like the relationship of the math equation behind that. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And so see you guys, like I gotta go because I gotta pick up my kids, but I'll see you guys tomorrow. Yeah, if you can join tomorrow, great. And if you want to see anything, and if you want to see any past scopes, I do have a Catch.me account. If you want to browse through the titles, something catches your eye and say, hey, I always wanted to know about, traditional versus Roth IRA. And every time you have questions or you're making a financial decision and you want someone, you want a second opinion, I'm here for you. Thank you guys, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.